Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to our channel, hashtag Criminently. We are here with Arctic Fox today, True Crime,
Hey, hey.
and Garnett and Lita.
Hello, guys.
How is everybody doing tonight?
I'm hanging in there.
I'm surprised I can't hear the snore from here. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, he actually got up. He's in there playing his game now.
Oh my god, I didn't think anyone could snore like me. um, you guys, today we are speaking about 20-month-old Quinton Simmons. He went missing on October 5th in Savannah, Georgia. There's so much information out there that, nobody knows what's real or not. So we just wanted to go over this case a little bit and give our opinions on this. Hey, Dolly Bear, thank you for joining. Hey, single mom. So, Quinton and his two other siblings, was it?
Yes.
They were in the custody of Lalani, who is the mother. They were in the custody. Huh?
Only the two boys were in the custody of the grandmother. The baby was still in the custody of the mother and the father.
And that was the boyfriend that lived.
Yes.
Yeah, that lived with them. So the grandmother had custody of Quinton and his other brother. Lalani, the mother, and her boyfriend lived with the grandmother in the same home with all the children. From what we know, the grandmother was actually evicting Lalani, which is the mother, and the boyfriend out of her home. She said it was very toxic. Things were just not healthy. So she was planning on evicting them. She works out of town. So, she went out of town to go to work. She left the kids with Lalani. There was a babysitter that lived, a couple houses down that would watch the children. And I guess what night was it? I mean, what morning was it?
It was Wednesday the 6th, I believe.
The 5th. It was the 5th, and it was like 6 a.m. was the last time he was seen. And a couple hours later, Lalani called the police saying, my child's missing.
Which she didn't do until after the babysitter came.
Yeah. So the boyfriend went to work, and he did show up at 6 o'clock. He was there. We have somebody in our group that works with him, and, she said, oh, he was at work that day. He was acting normal. And so he messaged the babysitter and said, have you seen Quinton? He's missing. And she said, no. Well, she went over there and she's like, maybe he's in the closet. He likes playing hide and go seek. Like, he does this at my house. Let me go inside and look. And they don't let her inside. They're like, no.
Hey, checking convictions. Glad to see you here.
Hey, checking. I know. That's why I want to. I hate that people are bashing the babysitter because she's the only one that spoke up about abuse, that has seemed like she has shown any kind of emotion towards this at all, 3.5 hours later and after the trash was picked up. Yeah, so she must have called after the trash was picked up. And the weird thing is, Garnett and I and Leah were talking. This was before we ever found out that, he is in a landfill. Garnett was like, I think she threw him in the trash. And we were talking about that. And what do you know? Like a couple days later, we find out that it's true. That was just crazy to me. But yeah, the babysitter, I definitely feel, does not need to be bashed at all. She said she told them, and not just once, but many times to CPS. So sad what they will do for views. It is. It really is. You know, she showed the grandmother. The grandmother, even the boyfriend. The boyfriend was in the home. All these bruises that the babysitter said that she saw, all these marks. So you're telling me that nobody in that house saw this abuse happening or these bruises?
Well, like I said, it's another failure of CPS. We see it time and time again. How many children have to die before the CPS system gets fixed?
Exactly. And I feel it's never going to get fixed. I mean, this mother, Lalani, who is 22 years old, she has a drug issue. She has mental illness. She wasn't supposed to be left alone with the children. Well, at least with the two. So the grandma goes out of town. The babysitter's helping watching the kids. But, you know, one morning, what was it? They call and say, we don't need you to watch.
Text message sent from the boyfriend's phone at 5:29. The babysitter, we're not going to need you today. Lalani's staying home. And then he left for work.
Yeah.
Now, I would assume that Lalani must have called him at work and said, I can't find Quinton. Because his phone is again who calls the babysitter and says, hey, have you seen Quinton? Lalani can't find him.
Oh, I thought that was Lalani that called.
Well, see, and that's a red flag right there, because why call him before you call 911? If my child was missing, I'm not calling anyone before I dial 911.
Well, let me make that clear that that's just my take on this. They haven't said that she called him, but how else would he know?
No,
Because
she did call. Yeah, no, she did.
That is stated somewhere.
Yeah, because they called the babysitter. He did.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. She had to have called him at some point.
Yeah. So we just have this situation where this grandmother knows, you know, and the grandmother also asked the babysitter, hey, can you take the children until I get back? And then the mom calls her like an hour later. She says, I'm going to give Lalani another chance. You know, I was a young mom. I messed up with her. I don't want her kids to be taken away like she was with me. Just let them go back home. So, you know, the babysitter is like, okay. And she gives them back to Lalani. So that's another thing. Like, they could have been, this would have never happened if the babysitter was allowed to just take care of them while the grandmother was out of town as well.
So I just had an awful thought.
Huh?
What if the kids were being abused by the grandma too?
What if they were being what?
Abused by the grandma too. She had a history.
That's
you know, I just thought of that. You know,
that's true. I mean, what was her background?
I didn't actually print that up.
Yeah, and I know she's got an extensive record and that she had lost custody of her own children for a point in time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And people change, you guys. I mean, she's older now. I guess you could say, I don't know how far her past goes back.
And I don't know if anybody has looked her up. I know she's got a TikTok. And I did go through her TikTok. and watched the videos. She obviously loved these boys. Obviously. Sometimes we make really piss poor decisions, and sadly, too often, do we lose a child like this. So I don't know quite how to be. My case, my personal case, tends to
Barnett?
the person that I feel is responsible and needs to be focused on is Lilani. To me, everybody failed this child. Everybody. From the day he was born, he was failed. So, but let's not forget to focus on the person that took his life.
That's very true. That's very true. But I also, after they focus, I hope that they don't lose focus on the grandmother. She deserves, and so does the boyfriend. I don't care if they didn't have any.
I definitely believe that there should be some child endangerment charges that come out of all of this. I mean, because definitely, I don't know, and there's too many rumors to understand how Grandma exactly ended up with custody of the two oldest boys. Lilani.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, I'm pulling it up now. Hold on, I have to get on Facebook and all that.
I think what you saw is what they just put in place. That was not what was already in place.
I think it says, though, why she was not allowed to be alone with the kids. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't supposed to be alone.
But I don't think that was up until now. Like, that's the current order, keeping the kids, the two remaining kids safe.
No, but it's hold on, let me go. Hold on.
What are you looking for, Lexi?
It's the custody papers. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. It's the custody papers, and it does mention somewhere why. I know it's for now because the other kids got pulled out of the home. But it does also in there state, you know what I mean? It says the mental, hold on, right here. Okay, so, okay, removal of for immediate danger of abuse, neglect if they remained in the home. Removal of the children from the custodian was and remains necessary. So it was and remains necessary to safe.
Hello?
I'm here. Lexi? Have we lost her?
I think we lost her, but okay,
No,
the way
I'm right here.
Okay, the way it is worded, I do agree that it does sound like they're making it clear that the previous order was to protect the children. And if that's the case, I definitely hope that there are some child endangerment laws.
Yeah, it's definitely, I can't read it because as you heard, I was disconnected and I can't pull it up on my tablet. Because it's just not working, of course. Do you guys don't have that in front of you?
Is this from face from you?
No, and like I said, I think that I just skipped over like the was, and because I definitely glanced at it, but all I was seeing was the dates and the fact that there were only 2 children listed, which told me, okay, this is an order for right now. And,
Yeah.
of course, they're going to protect the other 2 children because now they have to. The entire nation's looking at them.
Yeah.
But
Well, I just
had
wanted to read it to people that don't have that and, or haven't seen it as
You
well.
need to pull it up either, Lexi.
Can you get on Facebook?
Let's see. Did you post
It's
it?
on the group. It's on Quinton's group, and I had posted it like a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't see it.
But yeah, Arctic, what do you feel on this whole? I mean,
Well, my point of view is that they should have never even been put in grandma's custody to begin with, given her lengthy criminal history.
exactly. Let me make this statement, and I live in a completely different state. When I was going through all of my turmoil with losing my grandchild, and when I first started to try to get my 2 other grandchildren, they told me I had cancer the year that Orion died. And they told me that because of my health, I would have a very hard time. I needed to find me a very good lawyer. Because of my health, I couldn't take those children. Yet, to see this happening, it's a real smack in the face.
Well,
yeah,
because when my husband and I were exploring fostering kids, we had to go through FBI background checks and everything in order to do that. So
Right.
if we had had something in our criminal history, we would have been denied just solely on that. And so how in the world, with all her lengthy rap sheet, was she allowed to take those kids?
Right?
exactly.
There's a lot that is wrong. Just wrong.
I mean,
And that's what we said in the beginning, is everybody, everywhere, at each turn, has failed these babies. And the newest one. Because, once again, if she already lost 2 children, if what we suspect, what we read in this, and like I said, it doesn't come out and just say it, so we are reading some into this order. But if that be the case, she already lost 2 kids. Why were they not more active in this home, knowing where she's living with this baby?
Exactly, and how was she allowed to just move in there with her mother after the kids were taken away from her? It's like the kids had never been taken away from her at all at that point.
Lita says it won't open for her. It's okay. We'll do it. We'll get it.
I did see that some of the charges for Billy Joe were drug charges, prostitution, grand theft, things like that.
I mean, we can all agree to Dolly Bear, you're leaving us. We can all agree that DCS, I don't know what they call it everywhere, but they fail these children. But the grandmother agreed to take them in, agreed to take them, make them safe, agreed to take care of them. Why on earth? Why are you leaving them with your daughter, knowing what she does? Because in my opinion, her telling the babysitter, hey, I need you to keep the kids. I need you to keep them until I come back. But then calling an hour later saying, I'm going to give her one more chance. What are you going to give her one more chance on? One more chance not to abuse this child?
Exactly. And that's why I get so frustrated with these creators that are trying to go after the babysitter and drag her. I'm like, the babysitter is the only one that has expressed concern and care for this child through all of this, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it definitely. She's the one that came, and when she showed the grandmother all those pictures, the grandmother still went out of town. The
Yeah,
grandmother still didn't do anything about it. So instead of blaming the babysitter for not calling the police, but she did call DFAX, so why blame the grandmother for not taking her grandchildren or kicking her daughter out of that house or calling the police herself and saying, look at what she's doing to my grandchildren? No, but instead,
exactly.
you leave the kids and you go out of town to work.
Okay, I just want to cut in here for 2 seconds because not only did the grandmother decide to leave them with the mother in this house, but they had just recently moved in. What I'm going to say is that they probably didn't have a place to live. She was going to have this baby, and grandma said, here, just come move in here. Why was that okay with the grandmother in the very beginning?
Well, that's what we're saying. Like, why? I don't understand why she. Yeah, they call it defects here. I live in this state. I know they call it different things everywhere else, so I get so confused. But I keep forgetting we're in Georgia. We're talking about Georgia.
What really strikes me is just not long after finding out her grandson is missing, she makes this statement. She says, my mind has thought the worst, and it's prayed for the best. You know, I couldn't imagine she would hurt one of her kids, but I can't say the thought hasn't gone through my mind 100 times.
She knew what her daughter was. Yeah, she knew what her daughter was capable of. She knew the issues that her daughter had. So, yeah.
She knew those children shouldn't be with her daughter, sadly. Now, her heart was trying to tell her other things, and sometimes the war between heart and mind is definitely a huge battle. And like I said, she should be held responsible, but I do think that she loved those kids. She definitely never completely felt that this would happen.
I don't think nobody feels like something like this would happen, right? Nobody thinks. But when you see this abuse that your child is doing,
and you have to keep reminding me of that because I do forget.
I know you keep forgetting that. I know you
physical marks on this baby. Yes, that's very true. And once this babysitter sent me the first pictures, that would have been it. But I don't know. In Georgia, is it like here? You can't just kick somebody out. You have to give them an eviction notice, and there has to be a whole process.
Well, yeah, there has to be a whole process. But I feel if she called the police and showed them what was happening, since it was already involved. And see, I'm so confused now because did she not call the police because DFAX would have found out she was staying there and she didn't want to get in trouble for that?
I think part of the reason, going to what Garnett said, is that the grandmother did love the kids. And so she was afraid that if she called DFAX and told them about the bruises and stuff, and they found out that she was just allowing her daughter to stay there, those kids were going to get taken away and put into foster care, and the grandmother wouldn't even get to see them. That may be part of her reasoning right there.
Very good.
Nana, I agree. The grandma knew how her daughter was, point blank, period. Point blank, period. I definitely agree. I don't know. All of them, to me, even the boyfriend at a time had to have seen the abuse. They all had to have seen the abuse. Checking convictions. She would not be Wait, if the grandmother did not believe in the loser of a daughter, come on, her children were addicted to drugs at birth. Oh, I didn't even know that. Quinton would be alive if grandmother was doing what she promised the state when she was given custody. Exactly. DFACS is, I don't know what you guys call it, but it's like the state, the CPS.
It's DCFS is what it is.
Yeah.
So do you think the tipping point might have been when she got an order to pay child support?
I definitely think there was a whole lot of stuff that was adding up right there at that time. You know, she had just had a baby. Then she gets an eviction notice and a thing where she's going to have to pay the state child support. This isn't something, at first I thought the child support was going to go to grandma. And so that would change everything because, okay, is grandma really going to turn her in or just give the money back, you know? But if it's going to the state, then grandma has nothing to say about it either. So she's got to pay this money. I think all of that had a lot to do with it. I do wonder also, was there, could there have been ill intentions towards the grandma? This is a way to hurt her. You know, she had raised Quinton from 5 months.
Was grandma getting stipend from DCFS for caring for those kids like a foster mother or father would?
Probably. That's why the state took over the child support, I would assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So the state's going to get all that child support money, and they're going to pay the grandmother out of it.
Yeah.
So, man.
So that cuts off the daughter's drug money and everything else.
Well, it definitely doesn't make it any easier for her because now she's going to, if she doesn't pay this, then there'll be consequences.
But I'm wondering why Quinton, was it just she did she have a rage at that point and Quinton was awake and she didn't want to bother with him at that time? Like, what made her...
Was Quinton the favorite? Was, you know, was because grandma had him at such a young age? Was there more of a bond between him and grandma? Also, we don't know how Quinton passed. We all assume that it was absolutely abuse. But we just said mom's an addict. And we all know I have quite an extensive background. I've never been an addict myself, but I've raised addicts. So, you know, could this baby have gotten into a stash and overdosed? And then she freaked out? Not saying and not making any excuses, not whatsoever, because if that's the case, it's still... You know, she did this. She caused this. But let's not forget we don't have any solid evidence in this case.
And you guys, for all the people out there that are saying, you know, they found the body, that's why they're stopped looking. We don't know what they're doing. We do not know if they found a body or not.
Me, myself, I personally, I know the way that it works when you find a dead body. Now, could they have found a scent? Absolutely. You know, they could have taken the dogs to the landfill and the dogs said, hey, he's here. But I truly, truly believe that if they had found a body, there would be a coroner's vehicle. And the way the media has been on this, I truly believe that would have been caught. Like, I've seen people posting the aerial views of all the landfills in the area. You know, even somebody had the helicopter flight lists for the days right after it broke that they believe she killed him and that probably threw him in the trash. So, you know, I just find it so hard to believe That if
Yeah.
they found him, they'd have kept it
Here's
this
the
long.
deal. Even besides the media presence, police are on scanners, guys. If that body had been found, someone would have heard about it on the scanner. They found a
Yeah,
toxic
yeah.
body in that area. So, I mean, all we have is speculation on Twitter and Facebook, and that's the thing. As responsible creators, we're not going to put that type of speculation out. And in fact, I don't buy into the fact that Quinton has been found, because if he had been found, we would know about it from a reputable source, not off of social media.
Absolutely agree.
Definitely agree. All these creators on here, it stirs up. They turn every single fucking case into a circus, and it's ridiculous. Why are you trying to get people all like riled up and all fucking crazy?
All about being the first. I want to be the first. I want to be the first. Because those are the ones that are gonna get their 5 minutes of fame in it. And how sad is that? You know, that we would risk an investigation, because we went over this the other night and we're not going to get into it again. But when you have conversations leaked, and then the police have to come out and say, yes, this is what's happening. You know, I guess that still goes right along with, if they had found the body by this time, the police would have released it, because they wouldn't want all this speculation.
You know, I think there should be charges on that, actually. Shouldn't there be charges for leaking something that, you know, part of an investigation?
Well, if you go back to the history of, like, reporting, there actually are guidelines that they are supposed to have to abide by. With the internet, that's all changed, because we're not journalists. We're just private people out here talking our opinion. And that's where it gets to be that gray area, because I definitely would not want to lose my First Amendment rights. But at the same time, this is what happens when you have First Amendment rights.
Well, I mean, and the thing is you've got to have integrity, and I'm all about the First Amendment and stuff, but even the First Amendment only goes so far. If you go into a crowded movie theater and scream fire when there's no fire and cause a stampede and people get crushed to death, you're going to get your ass thrown in jail.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If they can catch you.
I never thought of it like that, but that is true. And it's like everybody.
But there's no. We're just in the infancy. I know, you know, because we use social media so much in our we're still in the infancy of setting rules and regulations. We're still, you know, they still don't know how to deal with sex crimes efficiently that are happening on the internet. So, you know, all of
know how to deal with sex crimes efficiently that take place off the internet. You know how many rape kits that are out there that haven't been tested?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
yeah, there's plenty of them that have not been, and it's so sad that they're just sitting there. Like, what is going on with our system? I do not get it. I don't get it. It's just fucked up everywhere.
I mean, you want an example of how you can't just willy-nilly say whatever the hell you want, even as a YouTuber or whatever. Alex Jones is fixing to have to pay close to $1 billion for some of the stuff he said about Sandy Hook.
Wait, who?
Alex Jones. He's this right-wing nut job conspiracy theorist.
Why have I never heard of any of these people?
I can't believe you've not heard of him. He had everybody trying to say that it was all staged, and it was crazy.
Wait, what? What was staged?
Sandy Hook.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I can't believe you haven't heard of him. No. But you are right. That's a great example, Chris. Or Arctic. That hadn't even crossed my mind. But like I said, it's cases like that that's going to set the precedent for what we do going forward.
Hold on, I'm trying to find. I really want.
Does anyone know if there were cameras or anything that saw her leave the house that morning? I read somewhere online that Leilani had left the house around a little bit before 9 and then came back, and then it was after that she made the calls.
Well,
That
see,
So I wondered if that really happened. Were there any cameras that caught her whereabouts? You know, they have the cameras around town.
That's a good question. I haven't seen anything that said that she was caught on camera, but Garnett and Lexi may know more information on that than I do. So.
No,
well,
I haven't heard anything about cameras.
and
No.
I don't know. There's conflicting stories about whether she left the house or not, because the babysitter in the very early days said that she was at home and outside from about the time she got the call, because she was getting her husband off to work, she was doing stuff around the house, and that she didn't leave her home until after 8:30 to go to McDonald's, and that she hadn't seen anybody leave.
Oh, wait. At 9 a.m., Miss Muscarda says she received a message from Quinton's mother asking if she knew where the child was, and immediately went to.
What she said in her Facebook Live.
And
I have watched that Facebook Live 100 times.
I'm just reading this to and then she went to the family's home to help search for Quinton before his mother eventually phoned the police.
Yes.
So they didn't want her help, she said. So I was just waiting around like everyone else. So she did go before the police. Sorry, it was random, but I wanted to read that.
Right, but that right there is a huge part of this whole misinformation that drives me crazy. Because like I said, I watched that Facebook Live just hours after she had done it. And I've watched it 100 times. Because like I said, this case sort of gets to me. It really sits sort of close at home. And, that's not what she said. What she said was that the boyfriend's phone texted her at 5:29, and that then he called at 9 o'clock.
And then that's when she went over there. And
the rest
then,
of it was correct.
huh?
The rest of it was correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't really know anything else besides that, and besides they found some kind of evidence that they're not saying what it was. We know that they, drained the pool. And another thing, the grandmother was so worried about, does anyone know, somebody that can come fix my pool? Right. I don't know. I don't understand.
I can't even justify that because I can't justify that. There's no justification.
How are you going to ask people if they know someone to come fix her pool when she doesn't know where her grandson is, So we just know that there's very weird behavior.
That's the thing that gets me. And I try not to cast accusations on anyone. But when you're more concerned about your pool than you are your grandson, just like in some other cases, like in the Summer Wells case, when you're more concerned about putting up a GoFundMe or a wish list and all of that than you are about begging anyone to help find your daughter, it just doesn't make you look good.
Checking said, well, YouTubers are saying there is her on camera at a trailer court in which they state the mother was overnight.
Wait a minute. See, and that's where this is going to get all messed up. Because I'm not understanding. So what you're saying is that they're saying the mother stayed overnight at the trailer park? Could you clarify that for me, please?
Yeah, because we knew she was at home. Like, she, unless she left the kids by themselves.
But the boyfriend got up at 5:30 and called
Yeah.
and that's questionable. His phone sent a text message at 5:30.
Has he spoken out since all this happened?
I have not heard him speak out. Has anybody else?
He's staying with, well, they said it's a cousin, this girl, that's posting on Twitter.
And she's vocal, but I have not seen where he has said anything. And I truly don't believe that he had anything more than just knowledge that this baby was being harmed.
I don't understand. Oh my God.
I don't think that he took part in hurting him.
So you just sit there and just, you know, Zane's bio dad has spoke out. I want to hear that. Where was that at, Single Mom?
I've seen Zane's dad talk.
And what is he saying?
That he didn't realize that any of this was, from what I took of it, and I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to sum up what I can remember of it. And it was pretty much that he would have never guessed that she would go to do something like this.
That's so weird, because the grandma even says, like, I don't know what she's, you know, capable of. Sometimes she's good, sometimes she's not.
No, it was stated, that she dumped Quinton in a dumpster and stayed to see it be picked up. Then she went home, not sure time. I am just saying this is the misinformation being put out. Okay. All right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. And until they're finished with their investigation, I don't know that we need to know any of this information. You know, none of us are going to solve this case. You know, and unless anything short of going out in the landfill and helping them look, you know, which they're not going to let us do anyways. Like, they're not going to have random people going out there and looking for this baby's body.
He told Justice for All creator, oh my God, I can't stand him. He isn't surprised about the bruises on Quinton. Exactly. None of these people are surprised, and it's disgusting that you just, let her stay with these kids, you know, let her just continue the abuse. We'll be back, you know, Sunday from work, and, you know, I don't understand.
And here's the deal too about being caught on camera in a trailer park or whatever. If I see screenshots of it, then I'll believe it. But until there's documentation, it's speculation.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, I think we just wanted to come on here because there is just all this misinformation, just like all these other cases. We wanted to kind of give our opinion on what we think about all of this, and just nothing is true unless it's coming from Ellie's mouth. That's really, you know.
Yeah, let them do their jobs. You know, I mean, so many times do they mess up. But I really feel like this police department and the FBI have been on top of this. I have faith that they're going to bring him home, and that there's going to be justice served. I do wholeheartedly believe in that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm the first person to call out law enforcement when they're doing a shit job and they're not doing their job. But in this case, it does seem like they're putting forth the effort to try to solve this case and to bring justice for Quinton.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they're definitely doing that. And one thing I don't understand, because I was worried about her running away. Garnett was worried about maybe suicide. Why is she just walking free? Why isn't she being held?
Well, I'll say this: even in Orion's case, they were able to arrest Scott because he had an open warrant, and so he went to jail just days after Orion died. But it took like 2 months for them to put her in jail.
Oh
Like,
God.
absolutely, I ran into her. You know, thank God I had people that wouldn't let me act harshly, but you know,
Oh.
I definitely watched her walk down the street and had fantasies about shoving her out of her wheelchair. So, you know.
Out of her fake wheelchair that she didn't even fucking
Exactly.
need.
She didn't
This
even need it.
fucking dumb bitch. Oh my God.
I can see you doing that too, Jeff.
Oh, you don't know. Like, that was a big, big fantasy. Like, I just,
Shoving
you
her
know,
right in the
and
middle
after
of
she was
traffic.
out of the chair, it wouldn't have been good. So thank God I had people that wouldn't let me go to jail forever.
So single mom said he said that Leilani and her mother were close, but I was just reading a week before she filed to evict them. They were shoving. Leilani shoved the mom into a wall. The mom called police, and the police actually. Hold on. Simon called the police on September 7th following an argument. Oh, she called the police following an argument with her mother over laundry, in which she said Howell shoved her against the wall, according to a police report. No one was charged, and an officer found no injuries other than Simon's reddened elbow. The following day, Quinton's grandmother filed these papers in Chatham County to have Simon and her boyfriend evicted from her home. So I don't think they were really close.
Well, it's a very dysfunctional family. And sometimes that's just part of the dysfunction. Is they are very close, but then they fight, like, you know, and they'll fight with each other, but don't you dare say something about one to the other. You know what I mean? So they can be close and still be very dysfunctional. You know, toxicity runs both ways, and I do believe that this entire family has a lot of toxic traits that put these babies at risk. I hope and pray that the oldest gets to go to his dad's and that his dad does more for him than been done so far. And I hope that this baby girl goes and gets to live a good life with her dad, and I hope he does better than what he's done so far.
Well, and I hope that an investigation is done to see how these children were allowed to be placed with the grandmother to begin with. I think we need to really start holding CP or DCFS accountable for their mistakes.
I need to have that entire system throughout all the states regulated by a government agency. Like,
I mean, I'm not surprised.
To be the same throughout, and they definitely need to be a lot stronger.
It does, but like, even, I mean, what is going to happen? I don't think they're going to make any kind of changes. How many children need to die? Look at Gabriel Fernandez. Look at Anthony Avelos. Look at Noah Cuarto. Look at all these kids, especially the ones that were huge, like on Netflix, and that still didn't make an impact. Like, that still didn't say, oh, let's get this together, guys. Let's,
That's why I think it needs to be taken.
Take a look at Massachusetts. You've got Harmony Montgomery, that
exactly. Oh,
my God. And then not even, a month or two after they release the information that they feel like Harmony's deceased, then they go and they let this little cyber slut mom have her child back. So.
Yeah. And like I said, I do believe that it being governed by one entity would help regulate some of it. But like I said, these laws need to be universal and they need to be strict. You know, you should have to jump through a whole hell of a lot of hoops to be able to take a child. You know, if you're looking to adopt or foster or care for a child, there are hoops you should have to look.
I agree. And here's the thing, too. They're too focused on reunification and getting them back with the families that abused these kids to begin with, made their life shit. So they go into the foster care system where they might be getting love for the first time they've ever had it, getting treated right for the first time ever. And instead of keeping them with these parents that are actually showing love, they're worried about reunifying them with the parents that treated them like shit. So here's my thing. If foster parents have to go through all these fucking hoops and shit in order to adopt kids, then these parents should have to go through those same fucking hoops and follow the same guidelines to get their kids back.
Exactly. Don't be fucking lazy at your fucking job because you don't want to deal with another fucking caseload. Well, this is your job, and if you didn't fucking want it, then you shouldn't have fucking applied for it.
I want to say this because we do have several cases where even the foster system is still broken, and we have babies that are abused and sadly deceased because they were placed with homes that were not safe.
Oh, and that's true. That's true. I mean, abuse can happen anywhere, but I'm saying if you take them from an abusive home and they go, okay, Oakley Carlson's a prime example. She was taken from piece of shit dad.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And put into a loving foster care family. Her foster parents to this day are still posting pictures of Oakley and talking about how much they loved her and everything, and it just pisses me off. Yes,
single mom. No, I am usually like this, but I started quieting down because, you know, I don't know why. Garnett and Lita met me loud and crazy, but Arctic brings it back in me. So yeah, I mean, he brings it back out of me
because I'm always the one that's gonna kill you with kindness. So you know.
Yeah. So Garnett rubbed on me and Lita rubbed on me with their kindness and but now you know what.
I don't have a filter. I've never had a filter. I just call it like it is. I don't care. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, there's foster homes that are messed up and broken, just like there's real homes that are messed up and broken.
Yeah. And it's the entire system. It's not just, like I said, if we had uniform and regulations that were strict, and like you said, if you lose your kids, if you prove that you're not able to care for these kids correctly, then you should have to go under the microscope. You should be taking learning classes. They should be able, but that's part of the problem, is that once you're in there, then they give you a call and they say, oh, we're going to come this day. And then when they come, they set you up appointments so you know when they're coming. You know, That's
how that case, we just did that case on Jordan. And, you know, when they said they were coming, they would show up and they would have the house all, you know, nice and tidy and, you know, have their story together.
Yeah, and I'm sure Jordan's sitting there dressed and...
Oh, I agree with Garnett. We need a standardized set of rules for all 50 states. And we need to also re-examine the rules and regulations in general, because a lot of the rules and regulations for DCFS or CPS or whatever state wants to call it, they haven't been revised since the 60s. We're in 2022 now, so.
Right. There's a lot there that needs to be done.
Oh, I'm Arctic Fox Jr. Guys, okay, I had this in me before. I had it in me before. That's why Stacy and them went after me, because I'm a little crazy. That's funny. Arctic Fox.
Hey, I look at it like this. If you're not being emotional, if you're not being animated and talking about these cases, then you really shouldn't be talking about them, because you need to show your emotion. You need to let people know how much the urgency is there with these cases.
And I think keeping us, like us keeping having to keep going over the same fucking thing like every other day, it's really irritating and it's getting to me. Like I'm just like, holy fucking shit. When?
Right, because
When?
all these cases all have the same core problems in them.
Yeah,
You know.
because we're used to sticking to one. Like I was doing Gabriel Fernandez, I was doing a lot of work with them, and Anthony Avelos, and then Kyron. But now that we're going off on all these other cases, it's like we see more. Like it's just.
Well, I mean, it's like I cover a number of cases, as you know, and I see so many cases where if it's not CPS dropping the ball, it's law enforcement dropping the ball.
Yeah.
And if it's law enforcement dropping the ball, then it's someone else dropping the ball. And it just, after a while, it just gets to you. And you can't just be all nice, sweet, and sugary about it when you're talking about that. I mean...
Yeah. Wait, and in some cases, never get them back. Why take a chance on them not being okay? Exactly. Why do you take that chance? Why is it okay to just, oh yeah, they probably did a counseling class or two, and let's just drug test them one time, or, like we don't have to do a check on them this month. It's just crazy.
It should be the exact same process for what a foster parent has to go through. Now, I don't know what the rules and stuff are there, but in Arkansas, it's crazy as fuck. We had to have our knives locked up. We had to have our medicine locked up. We had to have we had to have fire extinguishers in the kitchen and the bathroom. We had to have a fire escape ladder for our apartment because we were upstairs. We had to have smoke alarms in every room of the apartment. So, I mean, it's an extensive
Well, we
process.
have to have that here, and that's why I don't understand, because Georgia is strict. Single mom, I'm going crazy over that too, because they were not leaked by accident. What the fuck? That is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But CPS here, you have to have all that too. Like, they come in, they make sure there's, the fire alarms in every room. They make sure you have the extinguishers. They make sure you have food. They make sure they look in your closets. They make sure that kids have clothes. They each have a bed. They make sure that there's no medicine put up anywhere, because when I went through that thing with Jaden, they were looking in my aunt's kitchen, and she had medicine that was not put up, and they were like, well, you have to have this like up high, like nobody, it should be away from this area, whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends. But like Georgia is really usually strict about this.
And then I know that they told us that if two brothers were going to share a room, that room had to be a certain size. They had to have so much cubic feet or square feet of living space if they were going to share that bedroom. So.
Well, I am going through the FBI check now to do the foster care. I am going to do. Oh, let us know what you come up with that. Hold on, you guys. I will be right back. Okay, you guys can continue. I'll be right back.
Yeah, checking is going to be an amazing foster parent. I'm not even worried about her at all. So, I mean, and what she's doing is absolutely amazing, trying to keep that family together. So.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That is.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how old you are, checking, but whew, God bless you.
Shoot, even if I was 25, kids would be too much for me. I don't know how Lexi does 8. I told her it'd be a whole lot cheaper just to get cable.
Oh, my, checking convictions. Oh, yeah.
60?
God bless you, baby.
Wait, what does she mean 60?
That's
She's
how
60
old
years
she is.
old.
That's how old she is?
Yeah, and getting ready to take on 5 kids.
Well, I'd probably do it if it was my 5 grandkids. But hopefully I will never need to do that.
Oh, I could not imagine. I just couldn't. I don't have the energy anymore.
Two's my limit. I want 2. I don't want any more after that. I just want 2. 2 kids.
Now, that's
Well, I
okay.
had 5 and I had 2 bonus kids. So, you know, I had a house full too.
My mom's best friend, she had 5. And yeah, it was a mess over there. And then me and my brother would always be going over there when we were little too. And so it was a madhouse over there at all times.
There were 8 in my family. 8 kids. My poor mom. Her grand finale was twins.
Oh.
Just when she's getting tired, thinking, I'm going to slow down on this baby making stuff. She has twins.
Oh, well, Single Mama 4, I've been telling you for a while that you need to create a channel. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Is somebody making bacon?
Huh? No.
I smell bacon through my iPad.
Well, absolutely. I'm not making bacon.
I wish I was making bacon. That sounds good right now. Now you're going to make me go to Brahms and get me something with bacon on it.
Get yourself some breakfast.
Oh.
Do you guys know if they found blood evidence in the house?
I don't think it's been released yet.
Check for luminol.
Yeah,
I'm pretty.
law enforcement's going to hold stuff very close to their vest, especially since certain people decided to release shit that shouldn't have been released. So
I'm back, you guys.
Were you making bacon?
I wasn't making bacon. Were you making bacon?
Oh, I thought I smelled it, and I thought it felt like it was coming from my iPad.
Single Mama 4, you definitely should make a channel. I mean, I think all of us coming together as a community and helping each other out, going over, you know, different cases and getting more of them out there. I think it definitely can make a difference. And you're really loud on Facebook as well. You need to come up on panel.
It's nice to have creators that have a moral standard that we can communicate with. I mean, you know, I think I said so the other night. We try to associate with people that are going to have the same moral standard.
Yeah. Dude, as often as I'm up on panel over here, I feel like I'm part of the team.
Well, we basically, that's what we were talking about earlier, you know, we were like, well, I think that Arctic, like, we became so close, and I think that, you know, just helping each other out, going on each other's channels, talking about cases, like, we basically are a team, you know, like, we need to be in this together so we can make a difference. The more people, the more voices, and being on the same, what's it called? The same.
Lexi, do you need to get something out of the oven?
No. Why does everybody keep talking about bacon and ovens?
Beeping. Someone's got something beeping in the background.
That was my car. That was my car.
Oh, okay.
But you guys are hungry or something.
Apparently.
Are you guys hungry? Yes.
You're making bacon on the radiator. Or
yes, my stove broke too, so now I'm using the radiator.
Oh, your timer went off, honey. Your timer went off.
But yeah, I definitely think that working together more is definitely a thing. Like we said earlier, we're gonna make a chat. You know, just we could keep each other up on things, and you know, send each other different information, like, hey, you know, and you know, we have the thing with Lucian's aunt coming up.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that, you know, I'm so excited for, and I'm glad that you got that, because you have more of a, and it's stuff like that. It's
Now
it's
that's
things-
going to be at 7:30. What day?
7:30 Central Tuesday.
So that's 8:30 my time. All right. I won't be able to be on because I will be at work, but I will
Well,
be.
checking. You're part of the team too, and I want you on panel for this thing with Lucian's aunt as well. So.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, checking. Wait, is checking on Facebook? Can we add her to a group?
Yeah,
Like, I think all of us need to just. You are all good creators with good intent. Thank you. We really appreciate that. And checking, you are as well, you know, and I think that we need to stick together, and we can see, you know, outside of the bullshit, all the other stuff that happened, and all these other creators that are just looking for a quick way to get attention, money, or, you know, that has nothing to do with us, and screw them all. But I am the type of person, though, I want to call out the bullshit. So we were actually thinking about making another channel for that. So we don't mix.
I don't want, I guess that's my thing, is I don't want to tarnish this channel with that kind of crap. But I also want these people to know what these people are doing behind the scenes.
Exactly. So we will keep you updated on that, because, and that's something I love. I love to call out people on their bullshit, and people are too scared, you know. People are emailing me. It's different people that watched the live the other day after the fact, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I was too scared to speak out, or I didn't want to, you know, this person to come after me. And like, I'm getting so much messages, so many messages from people that are just scared, and I'm like, I'm not scared. These people will not scare me. I will speak out, and I will call them out on their bullshit. And
that's me. I won't do it on my channel because my channel's drama free over there. But if
that's
you
why
create
I think,
channel, I will certainly be on there.
Exactly. That's why I think we can make a different channel, a different, you know, and do it over there.
Yes.
True Seeker. Yeah, I want to know who True Seeker is. Somebody messaged me, emailed me, and said that they're like a bigger creator, but I've never heard of them. Hey, Loked Out. I met her on the Quinton group too. Thanks, love, for showing up. So yeah, I think we're almost done here, but we're just speaking. Who is True Seeker? Single Mom is True Seeker is awesome. Who is it? Like, everybody's making it such a secret. I want to know.
Well, that's because they apparently want it to be a secret. So, you know.
Always. I didn't think you know it's me. I do know, because when I looked at your Facebook, I'm like, oh shit, she knows about the Lokes. She knows about all that stuff. So I saw your name. I was like, yes. Hey y'all, I am a drama channel, LOL, and going live soon to talk about the fake cancer. Drama, let me go on there. Let me go on panel. You see, it's different stuff like this. People need to start speaking up about these freaking creators. A YouTube creator. I know that, Single Mom, but who? Thank you, checking, and you too. You are amazing. Arctic, you can get us all connected. Like, once we invite you on a chat, we can invite checking, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Drama divides. Are you going on after this? Because I will definitely be there, and I would love to go on panel if you don't mind.
So would Faye be considered a drama channel?
Oh my gosh.
Or
Yes.
a lunatic channel?
She's a lunatic. Oh, I think Arctic told me earlier that her and Darkness Exposed should be friends. Imagine.
Maybe
Oh
it's
my
the
God,
same
the damage they could do, guys. We don't want that.
I have a lot to talk about, but people can't handle what I have to say. Girl, speak your truth. Speak the facts. Speak on these bullshit creators that, aren't really about advocating. It will really help.
Okay,
So
so we're getting way off topic, and that's not doing the topic of our talk tonight any good.
Oh yeah, okay. So we're getting off topic, but yeah, we just want to come on here, you guys, and let you know that there's nothing from Ellie yet about a dead body. Let's all just leave the babysitter alone. Let's all pray. Let's all be grateful that the siblings are in a safe situation that we know of. Like we said, abuse can happen anywhere, but they're out of that toxic environment for now. So let's just pray that they find the body, and let's pray that the charges are, put on all these people that were involved.
And Drama, it looks like we're all gonna come see you after this.
Yes, we're all going to your channel now because you gotta be all
I
hyped
just
up.
subscribed.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think we all agree. Lita, did you want to say anything else about what do you feel? What are your opinions?
No, we pretty much covered it. I was interested in what you guys had to share because I've been sick. But
Yes.
Just
Friend me on Facebook. Well, I did friend you. Aren't we friends? Wait, are you a different one? No, it is you.
Drama divides. Okay.
Wait, logged out. I thought we were. Wait, friend me, because if I have the wrong person, I am so sorry. All right, you guys. So we're gonna get off of here. Arctic, thank you once again for coming on panel. Respect the hell out of you. Love what you do, like always.
Wow, it's a pleasure.
Garnett, I love you. Lita, I love you.
Love you guys. We will talk soon.
All right, we will go over there. We'll see you over there.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye. Wait, logged out. I have to figure out who logged out. Aren't we friends on Facebook? Like, did you added the Justice for Our Children, right? I just want to make sure I have you on there before I get off of here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was lost. I was like, no, it is you. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining. Let's all go to Drama Divide's channel and see what she has to say about all this disgusting fucking fraud. Everybody have a great night. Let's pray for the for Quinton. I was about to say for the family, but let's just pray for the siblings. Let's pray for the babysitter, and let's pray they find his body. Everybody have a great night. Once again, thank you for your support. Please give our video a thumbs up. Please share. Please subscribe. And good night. See you guys over there. And if you guys have not already subscribed to Checking Convictions, to Arctic Fox True Crime, to Drama Divides, please do that as well. Logged Out Queen, I think you have some stuff going on. I didn't really look yet, but please go over there and subscribe as well. And yeah, thank you guys.